Welcome to your online coffee break, where we discuss bite-sized topics that inspire, educate, and entertain. Here's your host, a software innovator, award-winning marketer, and astronomy and space buff, Chuck Fields.
Hello, thanks for joining us today for your online coffee break. We've got a special show lined up for you today. First, we'll be speaking with Ralph Johnson, the longstanding member of the band Earth, Wind, and Fire. Ralph has had an incredible career as a drummer, singer, songwriter, and producer, but he's also a great teacher. Recently, Ralph came into contact with FKM, an up-and-coming rapper whose new song, Feels So Proud, is going viral. We'll be speaking with FKM and feature his song later in this episode.
Online coffee break.
December 71. I understand that's when Maurice White and his brother Verdine kind of ran into you. Were playing a club?
Yeah, I was playing at a club in LA called Mavericks Flat, which is still there on Hollywood Boulevard, you know.
Wow.
Not open anymore, but it's because I believe it's a historical landmark
right
at this point. But yeah, that's where they saw me play. The next thing I knew, I was getting a phone call, and they were asking me if I wanted to audition. And I said, yeah, sure, you know, and they liked the way I played, and here we are 50 years later.
Can you believe it's been that long? Does it feel like it?
Well, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has been that long. Thank you. You know.
I think it's amazing. And I tell you, I'm going to date myself here too, but I love you guys' rendition of Got to Get You Into My Life from the movie Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And from what I understand, is that sort of helped you solidify your singing talents for the band. I was wondering if you could just tell us.
That's what brought me out front. We were setting up to do the shot for Got to Get You Into My Life in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Mm-hmm. And our choreographer at that time was George Faison, who choreographed The Wiz on Broadway.
Wow.
And he was looking at the shot, and he had Maurice and Phil out front. At that time, we had two drummers. The other drummer was Freddie White. And he's looking at the shot, and he says, Ralph, come here. Come off the drums. Come here. Here, grab this mic, or stand here. And that's from that point on, I was never able to get back on the drums.
That's awesome. Was that a dream? I mean, you grew up drumming, and then here you are.
Well, to be quite honest, I was quite happy being on the drums. I never asked to be brought out front. That wasn't my plan, but apparently it was God's plan.
Hey, and God has a plan. You got to follow that. That's for sure.
Amen. You know, so that's how that whole thing came about.
I think that's interesting too. And what bring you more into the singing, your drumming, but you're also writing songs, and producing.
Producer. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do you get more into the producing side of things? What brought that about?
Well, you know, and not everybody does gravitate toward that, but it was just, I always had an interest in putting the songs together in the studio. You know, I used to do that before I got in Earth, Wind, and Fire. I would, you know, use my own money to get some guys together. We'd go in the studio and test the waters and see how it sounded. But, you know, it's something I love to do. And fortunately, for a lot of years, I set up under Maurice, asked a lot of questions, and, you know, got better at it as time went on, you know. So I really enjoy it. Writing and production is really, really something special, you know.
I tell you what, it certainly shows. And I got to bring this up too, because one shared interest that we have is I understand that you have a strong dedication to the martial arts. And I understand.
Well, now, where did you find that out?
I have my sources.
Okay. Are you a martial artist?
I am. I have my first degree in Taekwondo. So I understand you did Tang Soo Do and Kung Fu.
I have a first degree in Tang Soo Do.
Awesome.
And then I have a third degree in a style of Kung Fu known as San Soo.
Yes.
And the San Soo I really love because it's a highly creative art, you know, and I love it, absolutely. Matter of fact, I got my third degree last April.
Oh, congratulations.
It's been a little bit over a year since I was promoted, you know. So.
I was wondering, I was going to ask you if you're still active in that. How do you find the time?
Well, when I really have time, I get back in the dojo. But I mean, you know, we travel so much during the year.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get back in, but it was one of those times like last year when we had some time off, and I said, man, you know what, let me get in here and just work it out a little bit. And my instructor looked at me. That would be Master Paul Borisov from Reseda Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a look at me. He was watching me. He said, so one Saturday I went in, because I love the Saturday workouts because you get a lot of people in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he stopped the class. He says, okay, we have a promotion. Ralph Johnson going to third degree. I said, whoa, So it was nice, man. I really love it. It's a really cool thing.
Wow. Well, I commend you for keeping up on that. I got to admit,
well, thank you.
I have so much respect for that. Now, again, your time is amazing. It's success, I guess, is definitely determined by what you do in your free time. And I tell you, not only do you do that, but great musician, songwriter, singer, producer. But I understand you're very passionate about teaching as well.
Yes, absolutely. Usually on Saturdays, I take on drum students in LA,
mm-hmm.
and because I've been exposed to some great teachers in LA, and I love teaching. I for some reason, God has given me this gift to be able to convey the ideas once I've learned, what it is I'm supposed to be doing. And so, I have quite a library of drum books. I've written my own drum book.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so when people approach me and say, do you teach? I say, yeah, come see me. And we get it worked out, Yeah.
Well, I know there's a lot more to learn, but just in a nutshell, like what advice would you give to those young aspiring drummers out there?
Stay on the path, never let anyone discourage you. One of the best things you can do, there are two things you can do that'll help you. Get with a good teacher and do a lot of listening. And see, the cool thing about being a drummer today is that you have YouTube, so you can take a look back at some of the greats, and see what they were doing. When I was coming up, we didn't have YouTube.
Right.
So you would just hear stories, and although you could go to a club and see them live, but today there's such a library of information on YouTube about all subjects. By the way, it's not just drums, but it's on everything. You can learn how to do anything. You just watch a video on YouTube.
It is amazing.
It really is. It really. I mean, it's mind-boggling, the information that has come forth, and I just happen to think that the internet is a tremendous informational resource, so people should use it, I
totally agree. And speaking of just young aspiring musicians out there, we've got this great musician, FKM.
FKM, yes.
What brought you two together? Tell me that story.
Well, he sent me a text. Somehow I got my number and sent a text. It was either a text or an email, and was trying to figure out how he could get this song cleared. And so I said, well, look, all you have to do is contact my manager, Rhonda Badikian from Heavy Harmony Music, and I'm sure we can get it worked out. And then I listened to the song, and I love the message. It was such a great message. Solid message. Yeah, solid message. And so I said, man, look, we're going to clear it for you, and you can just move straight ahead with it, and we will be in full support. And I said, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it, like these interviews,
Yeah.
I'm behind you all the way. So that's how it kind of worked out.
See, I think that's great. And we'll actually be speaking to him in a few minutes. But what I understand is when he heard that Ralph Johnson listened to a song and loved it, he just couldn't believe, he was blown away. I couldn't.
Yeah. Well, it's really a solid tune. You did a great job with it. And once, like I said, the message is super solid, so it's all about family,
Yeah, it really is.
You gotta look, when somebody comes with a strong message like that, you have to support it. You really do, because there's a lot of craziness out there on the radio, but this is solid stuff. So I said, man, look, I'm behind you. Let's do it. So there you go.
Oh, Ralph, see, I think that's great. That says a lot just about your character as well. Because, you could have just, been, oh, no, I don't have time for this or whatever.
Well, no, I would never. Good is good.
Yeah.
So, and it was good. So I said, hey, man, you have my support.
Yeah, I said that, I think, great, too, because y'all listeners may not know this yet, but, he came from a tough story.
He came from some tough, his story is tough. He's got a tough story. But he you know what? He picked himself up and worked himself through it.
Yes, he did.
And now he's got a record out, and he's got some strong support from people around him. So I'm all about it. I'm all about trying to get it out there and make it work for him.
Oh, Ralph, see, I think that's incredible. Just have people like you behind him and just the other support network. That's what it's all about. Just keeping the dreams alive and having the younger generation realize that you don't have to give up on your dreams. You can shoot for it. And there's people out there that will support them.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got to pay it forward. I've been very blessed. And, there's a verse in the Bible that says, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes. Love that verse.
It's really, oh man, but it's such a great verse. And it's just so true, and you have to be able to help others, and that's what I'm about. When it makes sense, I'm there.
See, Ralph, it's great. I appreciate you bringing up the Bible too, because I think sometimes faith is something, I'm a Christian too, and faith is something that we don't speak enough about, I think, especially in the entertainment world.
Yes. Let me tell you something, we acknowledge God every night on stage when we're doing our introductions, the three of us.
Oh, that's great.
And no, man, because we've been very blessed, this could have been there's a million musicians in LA and certainly a million drummers.
Yes.
And, I was chosen, I was called upon. So, we don't, in Earth, Wind & Fire, we don't take what we do for granted.
Right.
We don't take it lightly. We feel like we're on a mission. And so that's how we feel about it,
Oh, well, Ralph, that's incredible. And speaking of your mission, I mean, besides touring North America right now and doing what you do, what's next for you in the band?
Well, we're going to continue because now we're getting into our summer tour season. So we're going to continue to do that all year long. We've got something very special coming up in LA. September 13th and 14th, we'll make our third appearance with the Hollywood Bowl Orchestra at the Hollywood Bowl, which is going to be a very special 2 nights.
Nice.
And then in November, on November 17th, we will be part of a very special situation that I just recently found out about. I didn't know that the Smithsonian has what they call the National Portrait Gallery. And they've chosen 5 entities to be brought into the Portrait Gallery this year, and we're one of them. And I think this is the first time a group has ever been brought in, because if you look at the list of individuals that have been honored, it's all individuals. It's no groups. So I think we're the first group going in.
What a blessing! How amazing!
It's been, look, I can tell you, being with Earth, Wind & Fire has been quite a ride. And like I said, we don't take it for granted. We're very serious about our presentation and how we carry ourselves, and it's about sharing the love and spreading some joy.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Well, Ralph, I can't take enough for taking time out of your busy schedule on the road to give us a call and just spend a few minutes with us. We really appreciate it. We just want to wish you and the rest of the band the best of luck for the rest of the summer.
Well, thank you very much. I've enjoyed the conversation, and you stay blessed.
Online coffee break.
Wow, I really enjoyed my conversation with Ralph, but don't go anywhere. Our conversation with FKM is coming up right after this. First, I wanted to thank you. Again, as I've said, we are now in more than 100 countries and in all 50 U.S. states, and that's thanks to you. There are over 600,000 podcasts out there, and we just really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. If you'd like to support us, we do have a Patreon page now at patreon.com/online coffee break. We also have a unique store at onlinecoffeebreak.com/shop. It's also on our Facebook page as well, where you can buy all kinds of unique items from our custom stoneware coffee mugs to these rocket launch photos that we have taken and provide as well. Again, we appreciate your support no matter what it is, even if it's just listening to us and watching each week as you have. We appreciate our loyal subscribers. Now, back to the program. Here's our interview with FKM. FKM, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I am very excited to do this.
Hey, we're excited too. I just got off the phone with Ralph Johnson, and he sure had some great things to say about you.
Yeah, he's a good man. I really admire him. He's a really good man, really good mentor. Just in the short time that I've known him, he's taught me a lot of great things, showed me a lot of great things. Him and his team.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for them. Very, very thankful for them.
I tell you, it's been like a whirlwind too, because your new song, "Feel So Proud," Man, it's
Yes,
taken off.
sir.
It's taken off. I love it. I love it. It's got a great message, about being a great father. I love this. A quote from a fan on, I think, your YouTube page says, "This song makes you want to hug your kids and tell them that you love them."
Yes, when I saw that, I
Man,
think there's one thing about making music, right? There's
yeah,
one thing about making a song. Anybody can just get on there and make a song, but when you make a song that touches someone's heart and that gives someone that kind of emotion, I think it does something different to you than any other song. Like it gives you such a satisfaction. It's unexplainable. But to see stuff like that, I've also gotten messages, people saying that the song has made them want to be a better father to their children and
yeah.
everything. So when I see things like that, it's really gratifying. It made me feel like I did something right with that song.
Man, you sure did. I got to know. I mean, I know. Obviously, your kids inspire you, but what's the real inspiration behind this song? When did that start? When did you get this idea?
Well, when I was a little younger, about 11 years ago, I wasn't in the best position of my life.
Yeah.
I was down and out. I was actually incarcerated, and I was away from my children.
Oh,
And while I was inside, I used to think to myself, if I ever get a second chance in life, and when I get out of here, I'm going to change my life, and I'm going to make myself be a better person for my children. And so I wrote this song and started talking about everything I wanted to do and the father that I wanted to be. And I just poured my emotion, everything I had into this song. And when I got out and I came home, I waited for the perfect time to make the song. I wanted to make sure I was the father that I said I was going to be before I made that song.
amen.
And now I am that person. I changed my life around. I came home, never looked back, and I'm here. Everything I do is for my children, no matter what it is in life. I brought 2 children into this world, and they're my responsibility for the rest of my life.
Oh man, well, FKM, that's a just fantastic story, and I couldn't imagine. I mean, you talked about your background and just what you went through, and one interesting thing that I thought was just really cool about you is you basically had a choice. I remember one time too, where someone gave you 2 phone numbers to call. I was wondering if you could just share a little bit about that.
Back when I was going through my problems and everything, as a child, I used to have to sell drugs because I didn't have a way to provide for myself. When you're 15 or 16, you can't work a legal job or anything like
Right.
that. So
Yeah.
I used to sleep in parks, and I used to have to do these kind of things to survive. So one day, the person that I used to buy from, he says, "Hey man, you're too young to be doing this stuff, and I wouldn't want my children or my brother or sister or anyone in your position to be doing this." He said, "So I'm going to do 2 things for you." He said, "I'm going to give you 2 numbers. One number is to my cousin. This is the guy that will provide drugs for you for the rest of your life or whatever you want to do, if this is what you want to keep doing." He said, "But I'm getting out of this. I'm going to be a hardworking construction worker." And he said, "So with that said, I'm giving you the number to this thing called the union." And I said, "What is a union?" And he said, "It's a construction. You pick up a construction trade. You learn how to do this or that, and you get benefits and life insurance and health insurance and a pension and everything." So long story short, I ended up calling this number to the union, and it was the best thing that I've ever done because I have been in the union. I'm in the Laborers Union, the Laborers International Union of North America. I've been a member for about 13 years, and
Nice.
I am on my way to retire between the age of 45 and 48 with the full pension.
Oh, that's
I
great.
bought my own house.
Man.
It changed my life for the better. So if it was never for that number, I don't know where I would be today,
Oh man, you sure turn your life around. I just think it's great how, people give you that choice, and inside you just got to make that decision, and then once you did, like you said, you just never look back. That's awesome.
Yeah, sometimes people don't have choices like that, and maybe it's a matter of luck. I don't know if it's a matter of luck or sheer will and determination. It's the same way that I came across this sample from Ralph Johnson.
Yeah.
Because, not every day somebody can just get a hold of Ralph Johnson, right? And
Yep.
for me, the hard work and everything that I've done to get a hold of them and to meet him several times in person and, have communication with him whenever, it just goes to show that determination and sheer will get you whatever you need in life. And
Yeah.
I think that if I didn't have that trait, then a lot of things wouldn't happen for me, but they did. And I'm just very thankful for everything. I never take anything for granted. Anything that has ever happened to me, never taking it for granted.
Man, that is definitely good philosophy to live by. That's for sure. Now, you mentioned Ralph Johnson. I'd love the story about how, you went in and yes, you were thinking about the song for years and the timing was right. And I think you went in the studio and recorded it in like less than an hour, which is
about
amazing.
30, 45 minutes. Yeah. I mean, when you obsess over a song so long and
Wow.
you know every single detail that you need. I remember when I was making the instrumental to it, me and the producer he was on the keyboard, and I don't know how to make instrumentals myself, but I told him I want this noise to sound like this and this and to sound like that, and I need the overall to sound, and we're gonna get the sample and make it sound like this. And he's looking at me like, how come you just don't make the beat yourself? I said, I don't know how to make beats, but I obsessed over this so long that I know what I want everything to sound like. And
Nice.
when it actually came time to record, it was a knocking. I mean, I knocked it out the park really, really fast,
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, you did
I
great.
think when you pay attention to detail, that's just what happens,
Yeah, yeah, and then right after you record the song, I mean, I heard you spent the following week trying to get a hold of, okay, how can I get the rights to use this, and that's what eventually led you to Ralph Johnson. I want you to tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, I was like, okay, I started researching. Okay, how does someone clear a sample? And I was looking. At first, I was gonna put it out for free. Like, okay, maybe I'll just put it out for free. But then I was reading. If you do that, the copyright owner, the publishing owner can take it down at any time.
Yeah.
So I figured, at the end of the day, I think I spent anywhere from $800 to $1,000 or something to make the song. So I thought to myself, it might not be a good idea to just put it out there and get shut down. I don't want to ruffle any feathers, so I might want to contact them. So I went in my ASCAP repertoire, and when you go in the ASCAP repertoire, it has the information to all the copyright or the publishing owners on there. And I just ended up getting emails. And I mean, every single one of those emails that I looked up, I was sending email after email after email after email. And finally, I reached the number and got an email back. And I was on the phone with Rhonda Badikian, which is the representative of their the actual sample.
Yeah.
And she and I were talking, and she worked her magic, talked to Ralph and talked to all the parties involved, and next thing you know, the sample got cleared. And after that, not only did they clear the sample for me, they've been mentoring me. And Rhonda, she invited my wife and I to her house, and we met with Ralph again after the initial visit with him, and they just been treating us like family, and really open their arms. Some people are just clear a sample and be done with you. Their whole group of people are, hey, anything we could help with this, anything we could help with that. If you need help over here, just let us know. And they told me, if you make any more music, we can put you in connection with the distribution company to help you out, and maybe it'll do better for you, so stuff like that is just, they went above and beyond what they had to do for me. And, I was talking to Ralph a couple weeks ago at Rhonda's house, and he said, I've been around a long time, and he said, I'm a good judge of character. If I didn't see a good character in you, I wouldn't waste my time. So he said, hold your head high. It's not just about this music and everything else. He said, it's about the person inside you. So, hey, good things happen to people. And
they do. They do. What a blessing. Because like you said, they could have just said, oh, yeah, go and take the sample. They could have said, don't take the sample.
Exactly.
That would have changed everything. But, man, how was the success of this song? Just obviously, you're get to know people that you would have never come in contact necessarily quite this way before. How has this affected you and your future career?
To me, it was just a hobby at first, and I've never thought of doing anything professionally. And when this started taking off the way it's been, it's only 2 weeks, right? And it's already been on the radio, and more radio stations are going to pick it up. They're just waiting for their playlist to clear. And you know however behind the scenes works at the radio station. So I'm already getting emails like it's going to be played here and there. And I think it just makes me think like, oh man, I want to write more songs, but not more so write songs.
Yeah.
Write songs that touch somebody and mean something. And I want to do that. I want to make a difference in music. And I think with all this success that's happening, it's definitely motivating me to make more music. So I just either I stay independent or I go out and find a record label and see what we can do, you know?
Man, well, you're making a difference already. I mean, you're touching lives. I mean, you've seen the comments. You see how this thing's going viral, how it's starting to really take off there. I got to ask, I mean, obviously, you said this kind of affects you want to write things that make a difference. Do you have any, you don't have to give them away, but I mean, do you have ideas that you kind of go around in your head about, hey, I'd like to write about this, or I'd like to, do a song?
Yes, one song I was thinking is my mother. She was a young mother. She had me at the age of 16, and I wasn't the best well-behaved kid when I was young, and I was thinking I need to write a song apologizing to her for everything that she done and letting her know that it's not her fault, and she did everything that she could, and I appreciate her for it, and I don't hold anything that happened in my life against her. She changed her life around as well. She's a very, very wonderful grandmother to my kids, and that's all that I can ask for. No matter what happened, my mother and I went through life together. For her being so young, 16 years apart is not really a whole lot if you think about it. And we went through life together, so I'm gonna write a song telling her that I understand what she went through, and I appreciate her for everything. So man. I think that's going to be my next song.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. I tell you, man, we're looking forward to that, and we just again appreciate just your success so far with Feel So Proud. We're wishing you the best of luck. FKM, thank you so much for taking time to join us today. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you. I appreciate you.
Online coffee break.
Wow, I really enjoyed my conversation with Ralph and FKM today. But don't go anywhere yet. In just another minute, we're going to be featuring FKM's new song, Feel So Proud. First, I wanted to thank Ralph and FKM for joining us today. I want to thank you for joining us as well. If you'd like to learn more about Ralph Johnson, just check out Earth, Wind & Fire's website at earthwindandfire.com. As for FKM, you can download his song, Feel So Proud, on your favorite digital platforms, including Spotify, Amazon, and iTunes. Just look at the show notes for a complete list of where you can download the song. Without further delay, here's Feel So Proud by FKM.
Look, son, I know I might have a bad past, but never ever did I mean to be a bad dad. I'll never do you wrong, I'll only do you right. You are my shining star, I'll be your guiding light. And if you ever need something, you can ask Pops. I'll give you blood, sweat, and tears to the last drop. Ball, quarter, sandlot, home run, the last shot. Son, I'll be your mascot, giving you mad props. You can't stop, and I'm proud you have my name. I know you need support, so I'll be at every game. You'll never be ashamed, take a look into the stands. I'm in the front row, your number one fan. I tell you, you're the man, and you make your dad proud. Keep up the good work and stay away from bad crowds. I promise you, my little dude, will always be together. And even when I'm gone, my love will last forever.
Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little baby makes me smile. You're my golden child, the whole reason I'm breathing now. Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little angel makes makes me smile. You're my golden child. For you, I'll go the extra mile. Yeah.
Daddy's gonna play with you, ring around the rosies. Manicure, pedicure, painting little toesies. Anything you need, my daddy's going all out. Vanity play sets, barrettes in the dollhouse. If you ever need a friend, you can come to me. I'll always be available to sip a cup of tea. You'll never get enough of me. I'm not gonna let you. I'll do anything for you. Even play dress up, mess up my hair so you can put bow ties, perfume, lipstick, eyeshadow, both eyes. It's no lie when I say that you're my princess. Your wish is my command. Fulfill all of your interests. Kisses, hugs. This is love. An angel descended from the heavens up above. I promise you, my little boo will always be together. And even when I'm gone, my love will last forever.
Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little baby makes me smile. You're my golden child. The whole reason I'm breathing now. Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little angel makes me smile. You're my golden child. For you, I'll go the extra mile.
You're the loves of my life, the stars to my stripes, the sun to my day, the moon to my night, the grass on my lawn, the water in my pond, the stars up above to infinity and beyond. A blessing from the heavens, two angels in the skies, the most beautiful thing ever seen by my eyes. I love you, baby girl, I love you, baby boy. This is a crazy world, but you bring me pride and joy. I'd burn in eternity, life in hell, in exchange for your happiness, live and well. Only time will tell what the future holds for us, but I do know this, I've never been more in love. If you ever need anything, let me know. I give my heart and soul and all my flesh from head to toe. I promise you both that we'll always be together. And even when I'm gone, my love will last forever.
Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little baby makes me smile. You're my golden child. The whole reason I'm breathing now. Every time I look at you, I feel so proud. Daddy's little angel makes me smile. You're my golden child. For you, I'll go the extra mile. Yeah.